Morning, squad. Obviously, I'm not here today. I'm with the family. We're taking the little ones to Hershey Lodge for a water park day to celebrate the youngest one turning 7. So we're going to be on page 126 today. Today is a lot of your own sort of college financial exploration. Hopefully, it's worth your time. Let's do this thing. 126. So on page 126, you're going to be asked to list your 2 top colleges and universities. I know not all of us want to go to college. I get that. Some of you have plans to go into the military, right into the workforce, what have you. But even if that's you, please play along with this. What I mean by that is think about where your potential schools would be or are. I know some of you are already locked into your schools. You know, for instance, by the time I was a senior, I was locked into Millersville. So that's going to be my school A. If you are locked in, make that school A. School B could either be your dream school, or what I'm going to do is look into the financial differences if I go to Hack for 2 years and then transfer to Millersville, right? Okay. So this is where it all really starts to matter. So once you lock in these schools, you know, your first school will be School A, School B. That's what we're going to sort of use for our columns and our financials here over that's below. We used to use something called Naviance. The school used to pay for that, and it was super well done. Unfortunately, they don't pay for that anymore. So please go to collegeboard.org. Sorry for the mush mouth. Mostly because I can't multitask. I'll show you what it looks like on my phone, because that's probably what y'all are going to be doing as well. So when I go to collegeboard.org, I'm going to click right there on College Board, and I'm going to go to College Search. Okay. This brings up all sorts of options right here where it says College Search. In theory, this will work. Of course, there we go. I'm, again, going to type in Millersville. Everybody's going to look different. Like if you're choosing Millersville, then you can follow along. But if you're choosing something different, you really want to work with that. So once Millersville comes up, I'm going to scroll down and you can see costs. That's really where we want to make this thing happen. We have average net price tuition. That's great. Some schools have what the average price is by household income. You can use this. This includes tuition, board, and extra costs if your college is provided. Some of us, though, will just have the in-state tuition and then housing and whatnot. So I'm going to break this down sort of piece by piece. My in-state tuition, $76.56, check. Yearly cost for board, that's listed here as well. That was $12,600 or $12,600 per year. Everybody's numbers are going to be different. That's intended with this project. And then books and supplies, it has is $1,000 per year plus $800 for transportation. So that extra cost could be books, it could be transportation, all that. So I'm going to put books plus car. You don't have to label that, but I'm going to throw in those 2 put together. That's my $1,800, right? Then you want to add these together. Truthfully, I'm doing this quickly on the video, so I'm going to say that's give or take. Come on, old man. You're supposed to be a math teacher. It's real close to $22,056. If I'm off a little bit, forgive me, right? Okay. That's per year. And then you want to do that for your second school as well, right? In the interest of the video, I'm going to keep going on this. This number, I'm not going to ask you for. That's your business, not mine, right? Same idea with whatever you get for school B, your business, not mine. Then what nobody seems to tell you when you're in high school is most college students don't finish in 4 years. Most, in fact, finish in 5 years. So you want to take this number, in this case, my 2256, and I'm going to multiply it by 4 years to figure out what that total is. Okay, well, that's going to be $88,224. Sheesh, it's expensive up in here. And then I'm going to do the same thing for 5 years, 22,000 56 times 5, because again, it's not uncommon for people to switch their majors. It's not uncommon for them to have some courses that maybe don't go as they see fit, right? So a little bit of quick math and you're realizing, dude, that's just Millersville, right? $110,280. That's crazy money. So you want to think about this stuff long and hard, because especially, I mean, if you have massive amounts of money behind you, like round of applause, but those of us that have to take student loans, like that's a crazy amount. Speaking of, we're going to use these amounts and we're going to use them in a student loan calculator. So specifically, I'm going to run with the 88,224. You can do whatever you would like after that, right? So when you're ready, flip this thing over to 127. Okay. This bankrate.com calculators, you can type in the actual address. It still works. I found it was easier to go and just search bankrate student loan calculator. Okay. 5% is still pretty close to the actual interest rate. I just looked it up before making this video. The current interest rate is 5.5, so I'm cool with you going with 5. 5% interest rate, 10 years, principal and interest total. So you want to look at this carefully. My loan amount, let's say I take everything out in my loan. What was $88,224. I'm going to keep this for 10 years, which it should convert to months for you. And you want to make sure the interest rate is right. I'm going to run that at 5%. Okay. Now look, it gives you monthly payments. I'm sorry, it used to be a little different, so you want to make sure you're paying attention when you're filling this in. What's the monthly cost? Well, that's $935.75. That's your monthly student loan that you will have to start to pay back once you graduate. And then up here it says principal and interest total. So I'm going to add these two together. My $88,224 is what I originally took out. That's going to compound $24,000 in interest. Welcome to how the world works, folks. It gets really expensive really, really quick. So we're going to add those two together, the $88,000 and then the $24,000. That gives me, give or take, $112,000. And again, I'm doing this off the top of my head, so I apologize if it's incorrect. $290.29. Okay. That's the actual out-of-pocket amount for that that 10-year loan. And here's the thing, folks. Most people cannot pay back their loan in 10 years. Why? Because the monthly cost is too high. So I'm going to jump ahead here. The next column says 20 years. I'm going to jump to 30 years. A lot of times in this day and age, aka 2023, people's college loans are for 30 years, which is bananas. The reason being is because the monthly payment's a lot more affordable, $473.61 per month. That's still a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but that's way more affordable than $935. But here's where they get you. Look how much interest is compiled on that loan. So original $88,000 didn't change, but now suddenly $82,000 in interest. Whoop. Okay. The quick math says if we add those two together, that's $170,000. What? Almost exactly in 500. Almost exactly. That's an insane amount of money to be paying for your college education. Please fill in the rest of this paperwork. I'm not going to look at your numbers specifically, but I am going to talk about it because you really want to think, if this is how much debt you're going to go in, you want to make sure that the degree you're getting is worthwhile to pay this off. And if it's not, then we got to reevaluate what we're doing. You dig? We'll pick this back up on Tuesday. Deuces.